Are you trying to get your head around marketing like I am? If so, I think you might get a ton of value from this, or you may be able to give me some tips and point me in the right direction. But today I want to share the problem that I'm trying to solve at the moment with my marketing strategy and where I'm at right now. If you're struggling to find the right formula for your success, my 5-minute daily planning and continuous improvement tool might be exactly what you need. All you need to do is let me know and I'll shoot it straight through to you, no strings attached. Hello and welcome to the From Zero to Marketing Hero podcast. My name's Paul Heron. I'm a life coach and entrepreneur with over 20 years experience developing and optimizing continuous improvement processes and systems. For the past 5 years, I've been putting these proven principles to work in my own business, and I've helped dozens of clients move away from the uncertainty of not knowing where to turn next to a feeling of stability where they know they're on the right track. This podcast is my latest attempt at pushing myself out of my comfort zone. I recently decided that this is the year that I'm going to finally get my head around marketing, and I have committed to showing up every single day and producing and uploading an episode a day for 12 months. And can you believe it? I've made it all the way to episode 60. Still a long way to go, but I feel like I've learned so much along this journey so far. So the thing on my mind today is the problem that I'm currently trying to work through, or the problem that I'm trying to solve. If you've been following along, I've been really spending some time narrowing down on who my ideal perfect client is. And this was a huge step forward in itself for me. Up to this point, over the last 5 years, my approach has been very broad. But now having this clarity, understanding that it's in line with the experience that I had working in the corporate world, it's also what I have been focusing on over the last 5 years in my own business. And most importantly, it is the thing that I've been helping people work through over the last few years. Understanding exactly what we're doing, why we're doing it, creating repeatable processes that we can trust. So with this increased clarity, I'm now back to the question of how I can get my message in front of this person and hopefully start conversations and bring them into my world. And this brings me to the question that's on my mind. What is the problem that I'm now trying to solve? And it's just recently starting to move or shift away from who my message is being aimed at to how I'm going to start getting my message in front of this particular group of people. And what I've decided I am going to try first is to work out how I can use Facebook and Instagram to my advantage to start these conversations. But that's a very general, broad statement to make. And I think it's really important to really narrow down on the specifics of the problem that I am trying to solve right now. If you've been following along, you will know that I've got an existing system in place to attract clients into my business using Bark.com. Now, using Bark, I know with a high level of certainty that for every 10 leads that I buy, I'm going to have about 6 conversations. Of those 6 conversations, about 4 will become sales calls. And of those 4 sales calls, I will close 1 deal and have 1 client come into my business. And over the last couple of years, I've been able to develop a high level of trust and certainty in that process. There are pros and cons with using Bark. I have decided that I want to try and move away from Bark because it is quite broad in terms of the people that I am targeting. It's really difficult to get a specific type of client through that method. But if I look at Facebook and where I am right now, I have no certainty at all. I don't know anything about how I'm going to be able to use Facebook to start conversations. I'm at the very start of this process, but I think the problem that I'm trying to solve is in a very similar format to the problem that I already have some clarity on through Bark. I need to start taking steps to understand how I can create content that is engaging, that gets my ideal client's interest. I need to think through how I can encourage engagement on those posts. I need to think through how I can continue to build value and trust with those people who show interest. And then I need to think through how I can move them along a similar type of funnel. So move those people who show or people who engage in a post, for example, how I might move them into a conversation through Messenger, how I might move people from a Messenger conversation through to a sales call, and then finally through to becoming a fully paying customer into my business. That's my plan with Facebook. Now, the problem that I'm trying to solve right now is how many conversations will it take to get one customer into my business? And right now, I just don't know the answers to these questions just yet. So my first steps are to start creating some engaging content. Test out what works, see what gets engagement. Now, this can be both organic by finding where my ideal clients might be hanging out in terms of Facebook groups, for example. I could try there, see if I can get some engagement, see if I can get people interested in the small offers that I'm going to start making. Or I could start using Facebook advertising to start increasing the level of eyeballs that hit my content. And I think it will be a mixture of both, to be honest. But first things first, I really just want to see how I can start having people engage on the content that I create and to start thinking about how I can move that initial engagement or that initial interest into a messenger conversation. That's the first step that I'm going to be looking at. And I'm not really going to be thinking too far beyond that at this stage. Now, what's going to be really important for me in terms of solving this problem is collecting data. And I think this is a crucial element of this whole process for me. In my Bark example there, it's very, very clear. And it is repeatable. It is something that has shown to be true and consistent over a long period of time. That is my aim here as well. I want to get to that place. That's my goal, to get to that place where I understand with the same level of certainty exactly what's required. What type of posts lead to X number of engagements, lead to X number of messenger conversations, into sales calls, and finally into paying clients into my business, which is ultimately what this is all about. And if I can get to that place where I know exactly what's required, then it becomes a repeatable process that I can trust and rely on, which will provide an enormous element of security and certainty and provide opportunity for me to be able to start growing my business in new directions. So I guess this phase is really just a data collection phase. I need to get certain on what I'm committing to, which is showing up, creating content, and collecting this data. I need to ensure that I am applying my continuous improvement mindset, constantly testing and optimizing and changing things around in a structured way to enable this to just keep improving as I go. And I can't wait to see where this takes me. So I might leave it there for today. As I said in the beginning, I hope you have either got a ton of value from this yourself and you can start thinking about what the problem is that you are actually trying to solve in your own business, or that you may be a little bit further down the line than where I am. I'd love to hear from you if that's the case. If you have any feedback about what I have mentioned today, if you've got anything that you think you can offer to either myself, the show, or to anyone else that may be listening, please reach out and let me know. I'd love to hear from you. The best place to reach out is to head over to my website, paulheronlifecoaching.com. There's a few different ways you can reach out and make contact there. And remember, if my continuous improvement daily planning checklist sounds like something that would help you start to take steps towards figuring some of this stuff out for yourself, all you need to do is just let me know. Absolutely no strings attached. Just reach out, let me know, and I will send it straight through to you. Finally, if you are enjoying the show, I would really appreciate it if you would take a moment to hit the subscribe button. It does go a long way to help me to share the show with a wider audience. And until tomorrow, I hope you all have a fantastic day. Bye for now.